Hi everybody. Today we are going to be working on our pinch pots. You are each going to receive a small section of clay. When you get it, try not to play with it. I don't want you to squish it, I don't want you to manipulate it, I don't want you to roll it around in your hands, because the more you do that, your hands take moisture out of the clay and then your clay becomes cracky and more difficult to use. So resist the temptation to play with the clay as you receive it. But when you do get it, the first thing I want you to do is gently shape it, tap it, mold it into a sphere. And this sphere does not have to be perfect by any means. And I'm using the palm of my hand. I'm not really rolling it in my hand. I'm kind of more tapping. And this is good enough, right? This is not a perfect sphere. It doesn't have to be perfect. But this is all we need. So your next step, you're going to take your thumb and put a hole into your sphere. And I don't want you to go all the way through, because then you're not going to have a pot. It's not going to be possible. So you just put a hole in, and then we're going to start the pinching process. You're going to have your thumb on the inside and your other fingers on the outside. And you're going to slowly just work your way around. And as I do this, I'm pinching between these fingers. That's why it's called a pinch pot. And I'm kind of supporting with these fingers, and all my pressure is really coming from my thumb. I'm also helping and bracing with this hand. I can cup it on this side if I wanted a more round bottom, and just slowly work around. The goal right now is to have my walls an even thickness. And so far I'm doing pretty good, but I can feel the base is really thick. So as I go around, I can just keep working. If I feel that one wall is thicker than the other, I can just pinch that one a little bit extra. If I feel the base, again, is still really thick, I can go in with my thumb and brace with these fingers on the back and sort of just pinch the bottom. As you pinch, I really want you to be mindful of the angle of your thumb. So if I'm pinching, and I'm pinching like this, just casually pinching, the wall, the rim of my pinch pot is getting a lot wider, right? You can see that, it's kind of flaring out. So as you pinch, I want you to try as best as you can to pinch towards the inside. This is hard to show you. Pinch towards the inside, because when you have a pinch pot, if you have a small rim, a small mouth to your pinch pot, it's always easy to make it bigger. That's simple. But if you have a really wide one and you need it to be smaller, that is a difficult process. So always try and start small, and we can always make it bigger from there. If you find that your clay is getting a bit dry and cracky, you should have a little water bowl right next to you. Don't dunk this in. Don't ever do that. But I want you to dunk your hand in a little bit, and then instead of just applying all this water directly to your pinch pot, you're just going to rub it in between your hands. And then you're going to go right back to pinching. This is going to allow some of the cracks to absorb that moisture. If you find that that's not enough, you can have a little bit of slip next to you, and you can work the slip into your cracks. If you find that your rim, see how my rim kind of goes up here and it's lower on that side, and I want it more even, you can take your pinch pot and gently tap it right on your table. You should have something down on your table like canvas. That way you're not making a mess, and the canvas is good for the clay. But if I gently do that, now I have an even rim. But when I look at this part, my walls, there's uneven thickness. So now I have to go back into that and even that out. Sometimes you want to have walls that are kind of intentionally wonky, and that's okay, just as long as you're doing it with intention. And then as you work, just be mindful about the walls, and you want to keep it as even as possible. Questions? Let me know.